Good morning, everybody. Another installment of Bald Chef of Bergamo. Today it's a beautiful, sunny summer morning, and today we're celebrating my mother-in-law's birthday. So happy mother-in-law is one of the most important things in the world. Highly recommend making certain that your mother-in-law is happy and content. So today, in order to do that, we're going to make some braciole, and as the Americans say, braciole, but it's braciole. I'll show you how to do that. It's a great dish. It's a great day. Let's enjoy some good food. So the secret to a good braciole is stuffing. We're going to start with cooking down some sweet pancetta, maybe a half red onion. Let that saute, and then pull that aside. Mix it with some seasoned breadcrumbs, an egg, cheese, some spices, and that will be the stuffing. And I'll show you how to do that once we get the pancetta sauteed down nicely. Okay, so I've got this pancetta cooked down. The onions have sauteed. The flavor coming off of this is excellent. It's going to be great for the stuffing. Then we'll keep the juices in there when we sear the braciole itself, and we'll start the recipe in earnest. A lot of my friends ask me, if I can't find pancetta, what do I do? Well, you can use any type of ham, any type of prosciutto. Even bacon, just not something too smoked, because you don't want to mask all the flavors with the smoked flavor of the bacon. So this is going to be an excellent stuffing, and we'll get this in a pan, let it cool down, and then we'll add it to the breadcrumbs and start to get the braciole rolled and ready to sear. So I've got the stuffing. Again, I mixed the pancetta, the sauteed onions, breadcrumbs, Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. I seasoned the breadcrumbs with oregano, a little bit of garlic powder, salt and pepper, and some prezzemolo, some parsley, dried parsley. Then you hammer down and thin out your braciole. Spread your stuffing. Leave a little room on the ends, because as you roll this, obviously the stuff is going to want to push out to the side. And then I put some fresh basil on there. So I'll roll that up, use some toothpicks or some string, and secure the braciole così. And then I'll throw it in the pan and sear it, and then we'll find out chi l'uomo adesso. Okay, check back in a couple minutes. So I rolled the braciole and stuffed it, obviously, rolled it, and then I'm going to put it back in my Le Creuset Dutch oven. Again, these are the greatest things in the world. I know they're a little expensive, but it's something you're going to use for your entire life. This is the pot I use for rendering the pancetta and sauteing the onions. So there's already some grease in there. I put a little olive oil, and now I'm going to add the braciole and let it sear, and get a nice good crust on it, and leave a lot of flavor in the pan. So let's see what that looks like. So I've got the braciole in there, and we're going to sear it. You don't need to cook it all the way through. You want to get a little crust. Just starting to get some of the crust on the bottom there. We'll rotate a little bit, crust it up, rotate it, get that searing effect, and let it release the juices into the pan. You can see all those juices coming out into the pan. That's going to bring a world of flavor to this dish. Chi l'uomo adesso? Chi è più figo? Infatti, sono io. So I finished searing the braciole. I got a lot of dark, greasy bits, a lot of flavor being left in the pan there. So I'm gonna now add my carrots, celery, and onions, and then I will saute these, let these cook down for about 5 to 10 minutes, and really clean up all the flavor from the pot, from the searing aspect. And then we'll get ready to add the tomato paste, broth, and wine, and then we'll start the braising process. Got that there, and then we'll let it mix around and So the carrots, celery, and onions have been cooking down, and as you can see, a lot of that good flavor that was on the bottom of the pan has come up. It's almost deglazed just from the sweating of the vegetables. And now I'm going to add the tomato paste right to the center here. Let it warm up, and then I'll mix it in with the rest of the vegetables. I'll add the red wine, the beef broth, and let that come to a boil. Then simmer it, add the meat, and we're braising. And I'll show you how that's ready to go. Okay, so I've added the red wine and some beef broth. Now for the red wine, don't go buy a Brunello di Montalcino and add that to this. It's just, regular table wine is fine. You just want to get a little bit of the wine flavor. You don't need a special wine for this. You want to drink wine, drink special wine. You want to cook with wine, cook with normal wine. Add a couple cloves of garlic, and I'm going to let this come to simmer up nicely. Then I will add the braciole back in, and then we'll braise it. And I'll show you, once you get it in there, you want to make sure you've got it covered, all the meat covered, such that as the juices get, the vapors get boiled to the top, it kind of condenses back on the beef and keeps it nice and moist as you braise in the oven. So we're just about there. Check back in a minute. So I've got the braciole in there, laid it out nicely. Made sure I got some vegetables on top, covering like 95% of the meat. I'm going to cover it, put it in the oven, and let it cook for a couple hours, and soften it up, and it'll be ready to go. Plate it out with some pasta, and it's going to be delicious. Just wait and see. And oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, I did add a pinch of thyme, literally just a pinch of thyme. Just kind of help with the braising flavors. Check back. So I've had the braciole in the oven for a couple hours. 180 C to start for about an hour, then I backed down about 160, put in for about another hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes, and it is ready to go. I'll remove it, plate out the braciole, then we have the sauce on the side, and you'll see how we serve it. Served perfect for my mother. And here is the final product. Look at that braciole. Look at the stuffing. It's a beautiful dish. Buon compleanno mia suocera. Chi lo uomo adesso? Chi è più figo? Bravo. Ciao ciao.